Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another episode of Dungeon Quest Noob to Godly. As you can probably tell by looking at my character, I had to change the format of Noob to Godly in order to be able to continue with it. As you can see right now, I'm using one of my alternate accounts. It's a level 161. And I decided to go ahead and skip boss raids and go straight to Orbital Outpost. The reason is it's really not realistic to be able to do boss raids solo. You pretty much need a healer, or you need to have really overpowered gear to where you can beat it quick enough to where you don't need the healer. But another reason I'm changing the format is that you really cannot solo any of the dungeons after boss raids using only gear from the previous dungeon. The only reason that was possible with the earlier dungeons is VCaffey went back and he made all of the dungeons easier so that you didn't need the best purple gear in a legendary. But he hasn't done this for any of the dungeons after boss raids. It's also harder to level up from here on out. It takes more runs to be able to level up, and there's no more bonus event. So I just thought it would take a really long time to make each episode. Like, it would probably take a week or longer, and I didn't want to be putting up just one video per week. But with this new format, I'm going to try to keep it as similar as possible to the old Noob to Godly. Let me show you the gear I'm currently using. Right now I'm using fully upgraded gear from tier 30 boss raids. I've got a purple Inventor's Warrior helmet at 224k. I've also got a Heavenly Warrior armor at 231k. And a tier 30 legendary, the dual God-forged blades. All of this is fully upgraded because, as you'll see soon, last time I tried this a month ago, it was not possible to beat this dungeon even if you had this gear fully upgraded. I think starting out I'm going to need a speed spell, so I'm going to use Arrow Rain. That's the best speed spell. It's back from Steampunk Sewers, but they really don't have any speed spells from boss raids. And then I'm going to start out trying to use Electric Grinder. This is from boss raids, and from what I've seen, it has the most damage per second. And we can hopefully circle the enemies kind of like we did in Steampunk Sewers. Here's how I'm doing the skill points. Even though I'm on a level 161 account, I reset the skill points, so we're only using 139 skill points, which is what you'd have if you were level 140. I put 15 of the skill points into stamina, which was enough to give us at least 7.8 million HP. That's how much HP you need to be able to survive one hit from any of the bosses. And since we're a warrior, I put the rest of the skill points into physical power. So let's go ahead and try this. Let's see how we do. Alright, for this first pack of enemies, it's kind of very, very tight. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to pull these enemies out and then come back in. If you don't do that, I've noticed it's very hard to be able to... Look, I still got hit because those guys have a speed boost, so... You've got to stay decently far away from the enemies that kind of do like a spin attack. If you don't, they're going to catch up to you. We're already dead. Yeah, this first group's one of the hardest, just because there's not much room at all to be able to get away from them. So let me see. I'm going to try to stay a little bit more away from them. Yeah, if I can be able to circle them, it won't be too bad, but... Yeah, I'm going to kind of zoom out so I can see a little bit better. Yeah, it's hard. And you've got circles constantly coming on you. So it's hard to dodge all the lines and not get hit by the circles and worry about the enemy that's spinning trying to catch up to you. So I don't know, I may need to use something different than the Electric Grinder, just because I have to stay pretty close to them when I'm using the grinder. But I'll try it a little bit longer before giving up. Okay, now we're at the first boss. I think for here I'm going to switch to 2 of the arrow barrages. just so I can hit them from a distance. And pretty much if you touch that, it's going to catch you on fire. And I like to kind of stay here near the door. That way I can come back here to avoid that. Yeah, so pretty much I just leave whenever I see that's about to come. And then just kind of go like this to avoid those circles. Yeah, I was able to hit them 2 times that time. Yeah, if you hit that orange line, it's going to catch you on fire. And without a healer, you're going to die. So you've got to make sure you do not hit that. But yeah, as you can see, even though we've got the best stuff from boss raids, it takes a long time with this to even beat this boss. Okay, now here I'm actually going to keep using the arrow barrages just because I can hit these, I can trap, you'll see in a second. I can trap these enemies here on the wall and then hit them through the wall. So you go inside the room first, hit them 1 time to kind of aggro them and make them come up to this wall, and then just take them out from behind the wall. Okay. And you can do the same thing inside this room. There's some enemies down here. Come up, hit them, and then go back and get behind this wall over here. And you still do have to be careful because they can easily kill you through the wall with those circles and I think some lines. Alright, now let's switch back to the arrow barrage and the electric grinder. Yeah, you really got to be careful about those guys. They like do the spin attack and then come fast at you. You could use 2 speed spells also, but the electric grinder I think is like 25% stronger than the arrow rain. So that's why I wasn't necessarily doing that. Yeah, and it's hard. It's hard to dodge those lines and then also be able to dodge the circles that get put on the ground. I think I'm just going to try to circle them, stay very close to them and circle them. Yeah, it seems like I can dodge them better when I'm doing that. Yeah, so just be like right up on them. They won't hit you except with their line attacks. I need to clean up this inventory some because it's hard to find everything. Alright, for this, you do not want that ball to hit you. If that hits you, it takes a ton of damage. I think it takes more than what we currently have health-wise, so it will basically one-shot us, I think. So pretty much just be constantly watching the ground, hitting the boss from a distance. In this part here, I just kind of move around a little bit. It helps to be able to dodge the circles that get thrown a little bit better. But yeah, it's just taking a long time. We're pretty weak. Pretty much all of these dungeons were designed to be played with a team, pretty much. So I don't even think it's possible to solo these. At least not with the strategy I'm using. Now here you can also kill them through the wall. So I recommend there are some enemies back behind that wall, so just kind of stand here. Just beat them through the wall. Okay. We almost made it to the boss. There's one more group of enemies down there at the bottom, and then we would have been at the boss. But yeah, since we couldn't even make it to the boss, and really we didn't mess up that much. I think I died maybe once, or I think maybe twice. Once in the beginning and then once later on. But we did pretty decent, I mean, considering we had no healer. So I mean, I definitely could have done a little bit better, but we're using full purple gear from boss raids and the legendary, and this is a decent legendary. So honestly, I cannot think of a better strategy for beating it quicker. So I don't think it's possible. Unless there's some strategy I don't know of. So I think we're going to have to upgrade something. Okay, I was able to get a purple helmet through grinding on my main account for warriors. And if this is fully upgraded, it will be about 31% better than this current helmet. But I don't want to go straight to a purple helmet just because I think that's not realistic. Most people wouldn't be able to get that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade this purple helmet to be equivalent to a green helmet. Yeah, and if you're interested, green is about 6% better than gray, blue is about 6% better than green, and then purple is about 6% better than blue. At least in volcanic chambers. I'm basing this on current volcanic chambers armor. I haven't tested it for the other dungeons, but it's probably similar. Alright, so if we upgrade this to be as good as a green helmet from Orbital Outpost Insane, it will be about 17% better than our old helmet. Okay, so now our helmet's at about 262k. Before it was at 224. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and try this. I have a feeling it's probably going to be still too weak, because I think our actual damage has only gone up about 8% since we only upgraded the helmet to a green. But let's go ahead and try it. Okay, we beat it with like a minute left. Okay, we got 30 seconds left. This is the last pack of enemies, but they're pretty hard. They're some of the hardest to dodge. Oh, I ran out of time. So yeah, we're still too weak, so even with a green, equivalent to a green helmet from Insane, we can't beat it. Alright, so even though I think we could have done better that time, I think I died at least twice. We could have done better, but I still don't think we would have been able to beat it with that. I think we could have made it to the boss, but the boss takes a long time to beat. So I think we're still too weak. So I could upgrade this to full purple, but I think that's going to be hard for most people to get, so I don't want to go straight to that. I think what I'm going to do next is I'm going to upgrade this armor to the equivalent of green armor. Okay, if we upgrade this to be the green version of this armor, it will be about 10% better than our old armor. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so now we're at 254k. Our old one was at 231. Okay, so now we should be about 14% stronger than we were at the start of this episode. Okay, this time I think I'm actually going to use the arrows for the first pack of enemies because I died there the last 2 times. It's really hard to avoid that, the red guy that spins at you. And I can kind of hit him from farther away, I think, with this. Okay, now I'm coming back up here. And I think part of the problem is yeah, okay, good. That time I didn't die doing it. Oh no, it missed him. So make sure you're far enough out. Okay, it basically takes 4 uses of the spells to be able to beat 1 pack of enemies. That's a pretty long time. Yeah, it just seems easier with the arrow barrage, so I would say use that instead of the grinder. The grinder's stronger, but I don't know. I can't seem to not die when I'm using that. Yeah, I still don't think we have enough time. I should have switched to the speed spell, I think. We'll see. I'll try it like this. Yeah, it's really hard to dodge the lines and those circles at the same time, so don't go and wake up the other pack of enemies until after you've beaten the guys that throw out lines. I still don't think we'll be able to beat it even if I didn't mess up any, because it's going to take like at least probably a minute and a half, probably about 2 minutes to beat the boss with how weak we currently are. I'm not sure exactly how long. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and fully upgrade the armor and helmet. Okay, so now the helmet's at 294k. Okay, so now we only need 10 stamina points, so that's going to give us 5 extra for physical. So now we're at 129 physical power and 10 stamina. And since we've already pretty much gotten fully upgraded armor and helmet, I think instead of using the arrow barrage from boss raids, I think I'm going to start using Focus Beam. Focus Beam is what you get in Orbital Outpost Insane. So I'm going to use 2 of these to fight the boss. Focus Beam, it's very similar to the arrow barrage. It's pretty wide and it also has good range. The range is actually a little bit larger than the arrow barrage, so you can hit the boss from farther away. I think I'm also going to try a new strategy when I'm fighting that first boss. Another problem with this dungeon is you only have 9 minutes to complete it. That's a lot shorter than in the past. So I think that's one of the reasons it's so hard. Okay, now I'm going to try a new strategy. I'm actually going to come in and get close to the boss with 2 of the arrow rains. And the reason I'm using 2 is because I need to be able to outrun that other guy that throws out the circle. I tried this one time without 2 arrow rains and he kept making me have to run far away from the boss, which was causing problems. As soon as he hits you, then it throws down a little circle. But yeah, this actually seems easier to me than going outside of the room and then trying to come back in. Yeah, I think we were able to beat him in like 3 of these. I think with the other ones it took 4. The only bad thing is the animation's a little bit slow. So you have to kind of shoot it before you would expect to. But yeah, I definitely do think that's going to help. That will save us about 4 seconds. Yeah, I can tell it seems like we're beating it much quicker using these. Hopefully it will help with this boss too. I think it's around 12% better than the arrow barrage. I forget the exact amount, but it's somewhere around that. 10 to 15%. I could possibly use a speed spell there, that way if it spawns a circle right underneath me, but I'd have to get close to be able to use it, to use the arrow rain. And I kind of like staying back a little bit. But yeah, the circles are very hard to dodge if you happen to land on one of them. Without a speed spell at least. Okay, we got a minute and 30 seconds left. I think it's actually going to take around 2 minutes minimum to be able to beat it, so I don't think we have enough time, but I'll try my best. This part here, there's not really a good strategy. You just pretty much gotta kind of constantly dodge it. And I should have waited, I think, because I missed him. Pretty much just look for where the floor is empty, and then he's going to jump on top of you. So try to move out of the way, like keep moving straight, and you can dodge when he jumps on top of you. Yeah, and that delay on the spell messes me up. When he tries to steal your life with that green thing you just saw, he was basically trying to take my life away. Oh no. And if you hit the lines, they'll freeze you and it will take some of your health. I think we may have actually beaten it if I didn't die just there. We were close. A little bit more than 25% left. I do think I could have beaten that if I didn't die any. Or maybe only died like once. Alright, I think what I'm going to do, just because partially upgrading this weapon is going to take forever to click, like 3,000 times to upgrade it halfway. Alright, I just checked. If we upgrade this weapon, it will be about 22% better than our old legendary. That's not a huge difference. Normally we get something like 37% better, but the legendary is pretty good. I don't think we need to upgrade this all the way to be able to beat it. Probably just about halfway, and I think we'd be able to beat it, but it's going to take so many clicks to partially upgrade it. I think I'm just going to go ahead and upgrade the whole thing. Pretty much you need decent gear to be able to beat this. Okay, so now our old weapon's at like 1.97 million, and the new's at 2.41 million. Okay, let's go ahead and try it now. I'm almost positive we'll be able to beat it now. Yeah, the only really hard part about this boss is you have to be constantly looking out for that minion. And if you're heading toward the minion, turn around and go back the other way. Otherwise, you can easily die. Okay, I'm actually going to try this second boss using the speed spell this time, just to see if it makes it easier to dodge the circles that get put on the ground. Like he's about to throw the circle, so I went ahead and used the speed spell. Yeah, the only possible downside is we may not be able to get close enough to him. Like right now there was... Okay, now I'm able to use it. Yeah, if you're doing hardcore, I would say it does help. You probably are doing less damage though. So if you're not doing hardcore, a lot of the times I can dodge the circles. The main time I have a hard time is if it's lagging. Okay, we got about 2.5 minutes left. This should be enough if I don't mess up too much. That time I had like every single circle on top of me, so sometimes that happens, you really can't dodge it. Some of it's just random, so it does make this boss pretty hard to solo. Hardcore mode. Okay, I'm actually just gonna wait here, and he'll spawn right on top of me, and then you can hit him once then. Like I said earlier, that will one-shot you no matter how much health you have, so you gotta be really careful with that. Just pretty much look on the ground for where it looks the clearest, and then toward the end, he's going to try to jump on your head, so you got to run. Okay, he's about to jump on me, so I'm moving. Okay, we got him. We had about 50 seconds left. But yeah, from what I can tell, you need pretty good gear to be able to beat this by yourself. There's no way on earth you're going to be able to beat it just using gear from boss raids. I don't think it's possible. We needed fully upgraded, decent, this is pretty good gear. And this is, I think, one of the best weapons from Insane. And we had to fully upgrade all of this, and we still had less than a minute left at the end. Oh, and let me go ahead and show you how much damage we're doing right now. Looks like we're doing at least 406 billion. So that's probably about what you'd need to be able to beat it. And Insane only has 2 spells. They have one for warriors, which is this, the focus beam. That's what we've been using. And for mages, they have mystery matter. It's kind of similar to void spears. It shoots out a bunch of balls. I'm trying to compare the range of the mage spell to the warrior one. It seems like the range is pretty good. So if you're a mage, I would use this whenever we're using the focus beam. But I think that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next video.